Okay, so today it's all about being frugal and making an art journal from Manila file folders. I'm using the legal size and they are the craft color. So I like to save money, and especially when I'm going to start a new project that I'm not sure I'm even going to like, I'm not going to waste my watercolor paper or, you know, my mixed media paper or expensive journals on that kind of thing. So I sort of looked for this type of thing. I couldn't find anything, so I've decided to go ahead and make my own. So we're going to get started. Okay, we're going to use a legal size, and I'm just putting it on my placemat or my cutting mat here, and using the grid to mark it at 12 inches because they are well over 14.5 inches, and I can't cut them. I guess I could have. You can use a ruler and cut them with a scissor. But I guess not only am I frugal, I'm also kind of lazy. So we now have it cut at 12 inches. And I'm going to turn it now, and we're going to cut it at 8 1/4. See, that's manageable in my cutter. Otherwise, there's a lot of hand stuff. And I wanted this to be kind of quick and easy. We're doing 24 of these manila folders, and there's going to be 6 in each signature. So, and we're going to have 4 signatures. So if you don't know what a signature is, stay tuned and we will be talking about that. But I, again, am marking it at 12. Not using a ruler to mark it in 2 places, just a tick at the bottom, lining it up with my cutting line right here. I'm going ahead and trimming that off. Then giving it a turn, and on the fold I'm measuring it over to 8 1/4, and I'm cutting that off. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I got 5, I've got 1 more to go, and then we will be moving on to the next process. So I'll be back. Okay, so I have 6 folders here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to make a signature using these. So just keep putting them inside each other. Just like I'm doing. And there's 6 in there. That creates one signature. We're a little bit close here. Just a second. So all I'm going to do is use my little clips here to hold these together. Actually, I guess, yes. Getting ahead of myself. That's wrong. Yeah, trying to teach you something. But all we're doing is making signatures right now. I don't have them already. I thought I did. So we'll get all these signatures quickly put together here. That's our second signature. just inside each other. That's our third, and we got our last one, which is our fourth one. So there are 6 folders in each signature, which adds up to 24 file folders. Now you can make them as any size that you want. The process is basically the same, as long as the folders are all the same size. Well, then they don't have to be the same size, but you've got to be able to stitch them in all together. That's a little bit more complicated. I wanted to have the biggest open space like this for my art journal as possible. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. So I'm going to grab all of my signatures, the 4 signatures together. Now I'm going to clamp them. Now I don't have big enough clamps. Ay, ay, ay. I'll be back. Okay, for some reason we missed out on how I marked the folders. I used a ruler holding all 4 signatures together and just used a pencil across the folded edge so that I could see where I had to punch the holes. Then I went ahead and punched the holes in all 4 signatures. Something happened to my audio in this video. I don't know what happened. So I'm just kind of walking you through it. I started with the first folder on the outside at the very top, going in, and you'll end up coming out at the bottom of that first folder, and then you'll join the next folder going in at the bottom, which will bring you up to the top where I'm getting close to now. As you can see, I'm coming through the top of the second signature, and I'm going to tie them together. And we will basically be doing the same thing, adding all the signatures together in the same manner. So I'm just moving my clamps, getting ready for signature number 3, making sure my holes all line up, and then I'm going to open the folder up so that it's easier for me to find the hole. Yeah, so I'm moving my clamp, like I said, and leaving the flap open so that it's easily accessible. Making sure they're all lined up good. And I'm going to continue now, starting again at the top. Going through the top. You're just working in and out, all the way to the bottom. And when we get to the bottom, you will see what I do. I kind of join them together. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I do. Sometimes the holes are kind of hard to find. I prefer to use like a book, a phone book, a telephone book, yellow pages, poke the holes because it makes them a little bit bigger. However, this works okay. But they're very small in comparison to me doing watercolor paper, because watercolor paper is quite thick, and it's impossible just to, you know, poke a hole on top of a mat, a craft mat like this, and be able to, you know, create signatures. So as you see, I'm pulling it out of the bottom, and now I'm going to hook it in to the stitching, and I'm going to tie knots. I do this a couple of times before I add on the next section or the next signature. I just want to make sure that they're joined together well. So I just tie, and you see I go in and kind of loop my needle back through that loop. I've done it twice, so then it tightens it up really well. And I'm running out of wax linen thread, so I'm going to have to thread another piece. I didn't want to have a join somewhere where it's not going to pull through, so it's just better to do it before you start a new signature. And I tie it on, so I think I do, if I remember correctly. I think I tie it on to the group of signatures before proceeding with the last signature. Sorry, I'm out of frame, you guys. I'm still getting used to my new space, and the camera is at an odd angle. I like it to be overhead, but at this time I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that here yet. So you can barely see at the very top of the screen there that I'm hooking it in to the already stitched area of the first four signatures that we've already done. I am now beginning to pull it through. Yeah, I didn't like that, so I'm starting again. And I am tying it in this time. They want no tails hanging out. It makes it hard to tie, so I'm hooking it in, tying it right in. It makes it easier that way. We'll be getting to the last signature here in a second, and I'm out of frame, but I am tying it in. I didn't realize I was so out of frame. I'm sorry. But it's basically the same thing that we've been doing all along. Just in from the outside, up through the second hole. And as you see, I just used a ruler and marked those lines across all the folds. I used a ruler, not measuring, just used the ruler width, and I marked 3 of them across the top and 3 of them starting at the bottom and working up. If that makes any sense. I hope. Having a problem with this voiceover as well, I don't know. The software just isn't allowing me to voice over throughout the whole thing. I have to start and stop it, and it's driving me nuts. Still we're almost done. We'll be coming out through the bottom, and we'll be tying it off just like we did before. Doing it two or three times, you know, tying it, that is, and you know, just to make sure that it's not going to come apart. So I'm just trimming off the extra pieces. Just going to get ready with my white masking tape. That's what I'm using as a binding cover. I find that it works well. If you wanted to, you could decorate your front cover before doing this. It would likely be easier. However, for me, it doesn't make any difference. I just wanted to, you know, get it all ready, and then I'm going to gesso all my pages and be gessoing all the pages and just get prepped. Ready for whatever I want to do in this journal. And I'm not sure what it is yet, but testing techniques, I believe, is what I had planned, but one never knows. I just felt that a testing journal isn't one where I feel good about using watercolor paper, and I've seen these used before. If a person can use sketch paper for mixed media, I felt that, goodness sakes, we should be able to use manila folders too. So, and I had these laying around, I thought I would use them. And I'm going to add another piece just a little bit down from the edge, maybe 1/4 of an inch, just to make sure that that's going to stay on there. And it doesn't matter that it's, you know, too big. I'm going to trim it all off after. I got my paint shirt on today. I have a few designated shirts that are for painting, but I'm not really painting right now, but I was earlier. So I didn't bother changing my shirt. I just got busy making this, and I thought I would just video the process while I was at it. But Didn't realize how unprepared I was. So I'm just adding another piece to the back side. About 1/4 of an inch down. And then you'll see me using my bone folder to burnish it here, and that really helps it stay. I'm just going to go ahead and trim the edges all the way around. Sorry if it's sort of chopped up my voice. It keeps starting and stopping, and I have to keep starting it again. I'm just trimming the rest. And as I'm flipping through the pages here, I noticed that I really didn't pull my stitches tight enough, because there are gaps. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I noticed that they're loose here, so that's what I'm talking about. There's that gap. I'm not very happy about that, so I'm going to get masking tape here in a minute and fix the problem. I'm trying to stick it down, but it's not wanting to. Okay, I'm heading for my tape. So that's how I fix the problem. I noticed that a lot of mixed media artists use masking tape in their art journals anyways, so I'm not feeling too bad about this. However, when you're putting your journals together, or when you're stitching your signatures together, try getting them as tight as possible, because they will separate this way. I didn't pull them tight enough. But it's okay. It's okay for me. I mean, I don't mind that. This isn't a journal that I'm going to have out on display, you know. Which I don't think I will, but and if I do, oh well. It's got masking tape in it, I don't mind that. Yeah, just really pushing it down. And that looks better to me. I'm happy with that now. And each one has the same problem, so if you run into this problem, just get out your masking tape. It takes gesso, it takes acrylic paint. I don't know how archival it is, but I guess the folders we're using, the Manila folders, are not archival either. So these aren't my masterpieces going in here. I'm just trimming off the little bit of masking tape off the top, trying to get it in the frame for you, but it's just too big of a book. And we're getting really close to the end. I hope you've enjoyed the process as much as I have, and hope to see you again soon. Bye for